Hello, I'm Katie and welcome to the Planner channel. In this video, we are talking about how to hand letter in your planner for beginners. I'm going to share my favorite tips and tricks for learning how to do calligraphy, hand lettering, the fancy writing in your planner. I'm going to share with you a couple of ways you can practice and learn it, and some of my favorite products to use. If you are watching live, make sure you drop your name and a little hello in the chat so that I can say hello. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment down below and I will say hello to you there. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more planner videos. And we are so close to 15,000 subscribers. When that happens, there will be a giveaway. If you like hand lettering and planning, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to just make this screen. Actually, we're going to go full screen on the desktop so that we can see all of the lettering things. Hello to Rhonda, Chris, and Julie in the live chat today. Okay, so let's start off with what you're looking at here on the desktop. I wanted to share my two favorite pens that I like to use for hand lettering, and these are the two that I learned hand lettering calligraphy, and the ones I use in my planner. They are the Tombow dual brush pen and the Tombow Fudenosuke small brush pens. Both of them come in lots of colors and a couple of different, like this one comes in I think a hard and a soft, or a small and a couple different ones. I have them linked below somewhere around the video, also in the description, where you can go to Tombow and learn all about the pens. But these are my favorite go-to pens. And the dual brush ones have a large brush on the end, kind of like a paintbrush, but for writing. And the other end is a thick marker, similar to my favorite markers, which are over here. Let me grab one. The Papermate Flair medium point markers. So it's like having a marker and a brush pen in one, in the big brush pens, the large brush pens. Hello to Carol, Ruth, and y'all Gisa, grown woman on the grind. Hello. All right, so let me share these two things here, which are the Happy Planner. And this is a Happy Planner horizontal, but it's made for hand lettering practice. And I used this one to teach my hand lettering class. If you enjoy this little tutorial in this video, head on over to the Planner School. There's links in the description, and consider joining my I have a planning class, a decorating class, and hand lettering class is this one, what we're talking about here. So I used this whole planner to teach a full year of lessons on hand lettering. But today we're going to start with just a couple of tips to get you started. So this tip is choose a planner or a notebook to practice your hand lettering. I suggest a horizontal Happy Planner is one way to do it, or any planner. You will want good quality paper. So some of the planners that are more towards bullet journaling and art journaling will be better for your hand lettering practice. Also, this is what we're going to use for tonight that I'll share. This is Go Getter Girls lined notebook, and they use extra high quality paper in the Go Getter Girl planners and notebooks, and they are so pretty. They're about to launch a new collection. So links in the description box if you want to check out more of these. This is really, really good paper for practicing lettering with your brush pens. So I'm going to open this up to a page, and I already lettered out Tombow dual brush pens, so you can kind of see what they look like. That's the large, and the small brush pen here in black. So these are my tips. After you choose something to do your practicing, a planner or a notebook, remember these three tips. Number one, practice slowly. In hand lettering, I'm going to go back over here so I can talk to you a little bit. With hand lettering, you're actually not writing the letters. You are drawing them. It's like art. You have to create the letters, draw the letters. So you kind of have to unlearn what you've learned about how you make your letters. So you have to think drawing. And when you're drawing, you don't draw quickly, scribble it out. You are like focused. So you have to draw your letters slowly. That's tip number one. And we're going to practice in a minute. Don't worry. I just want to tell you these top 3 tips. Number 2, you're going to write up and down. And almost all of your hand lettering is either an upward thin stroke or a downward thick firm stroke. So a light up stroke, heavy downstroke. And that's pretty much everything. So that's what you need to practice. Slow upward light strokes and heavy downstrokes. Lots of that. Practice that. Oh, and we talked about drawing. So draw slowly and practice up and down. And I would say number 4 is just practice a lot. So slow, up and down, and draw your letters. Let's practice a little bit. Now let's go back to the desktop. Okay. So I thought it would be fun if we practiced a word. Grab these out. I like these ribbons here. Make sure you can see. Let's practice something that you can use in your planner. And I was thinking about this afternoon. I'm going to show you a few different ways of writing to do, because something I always write it in my planner is my to-do list. So we're going to write to do. We're going to practice that for beginners. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways. Let's use the large brush pen first in this bright pink, just because I like it. So the first thing that I want you to kind of learn is, well, this first. Don't worry about which kind of pen you're using. Don't worry about how you hold the pen. I was worried about all those things while I was learning. It doesn't matter. You just need to pick up the pen and start practicing. You're going to need to break your letters apart. So let me write them out once without the lettering. So let me just write out to do like this. And then we're going to talk about breaking out your letters into pieces, because like I said, we're going to have downward strokes and upward strokes. So that's what we're going to break our letters into. We're going to keep it simple. So this will be a downward stroke, heavy, and this will be a light upward stroke. So downward, heavy, light, upward stroke. You're just going to do that over and over. Downward stroke, light, upward stroke. Then you can start getting fancy later. Light upward, heavy down, light up. And then the D, you can let's just keep it simple. Heavy downward, light upward. Then your O again, heavy downward, light upward. And a little swirl if you want to. Cross your T. That's it. So what you're breaking your letters into are downward strokes that are have thick lines. So everywhere that you write down, you're going to make it double thickness, like that. So let's do that with a smaller brush pen. Hi, Jacqueline. I'm in Canada. Heavy downward, light upward. Heavy downward, light upward. And then another heavy downward here and light upward here. And we're going to make it a little fancier in a minute too. But that's what you're going to practice over and over. All right, let's make the T a little fancier. This is one of my favorite ways to practice if you don't have a brush pen, is to just write out your words first and then fill in the downward strokes. So that's how you can practice now without a brush pen. Then you just simply start changing up your letters to however as fancy or as simple as you want them to be. So I'm writing very slowly. See how my O's aren't the same size? It takes a lot of practice to get them beautiful. So let's do another big one like this one. Let's do a fancy one. Let's do one more up here. So I like the small brush pen. Hello, Vivian. Hello, Sherelle. Because this pen, you can write small enough to fit it in your actual planner. All right. Do you have any questions? Are any of you brand new beginners? If you are, leave a comment and let me know if you're brand new learning how to letter in your planner, or if you've started practicing. If you have any question about which pens or which kind of paper to use, leave me a comment. Let's do some more, right? Do you want to do some more? Let's do another, let's do a couple of letters that you can learn and practice, because you're probably going to want to practice the alphabet. So let me talk to you about the class too. So if you enjoyed this little short tutorial and you want to consider joining the class in the Planner School, this is what we do in the class. We do the entire alphabet, several different ways to do lettering, small brush pens, large brush pens, lots of different colors, some blending, how to get some worksheets to practice, which products to use, and 12 different worksheets with lots of letters or words for you to practice lettering. All of that is included in the class in the Planner School. You're brand new, Julie, you're just starting, and Chris, you are too. Carol, you have all the supplies, but you keep putting off trying. And Rhonda, you're brand new. How do you remember how each letter goes up or down? Let me click this one. This is a good question, Chris. It's okay. So it's the same way that you write the letter, but this time you're drawing. So let me, let's do the letter A so we can I'll kind of show you that. So you would write an A like that, right? But if you do it slowly, you would start here and you would make a circle, right? That's your first piece. And then your second piece would be a downward stroke here. So from your starting point, you go up lightly. Down will be a double heavy stroke, right? So downward will be thick. Upward will be light. Then downward will be thick again. So we're going to make that double thick. And then you go back up, and that's light. That's how. So it's the same way that you write it, but instead you're drawing it. Let's do it again with the large brush pen here. So light up, thick down, light up. Then pick up your pen. Remember, we're not writing it, we're drawing. So you're going to draw each section by itself. So heavy down, light up. That's it. And you just have to practice it to get your hands and your brain retrained not to write the letter, but to draw each segment. And then grab your planner or your notebook and start practicing. So let's do A, B, C. So there's a couple different ways. If you're brand new, you might want to do B like this. The downward stroke and then the circle. Or you can get fancy and make your B like this. Or however you want it. All right, now let me show you how it looks with the brush pen. So you'll do that same exact light upstroke and then a heavy downstroke, light upstroke, heavy downstroke, light curly Q. Let's use this pen now. Let's do it with this one. And then you can change it up. Once you get used to creating your letters, then you can start making things with it. Evelyn, is that a Tombow brush pen? These are both Tombow brush pens. This is the Fudenosuke small brush pens. These are the dual brush pens, the big one, large dual brush pen. These come in lots and lots of colors. These come in basic color. There's 2 sets of these Tombow small brush pens. I like these for writing in my planner and these for doing more decorative things. But one of my favorite looks is how this looks when you use the marker and just create your downstrokes. I love that. Like that. Carol said, I like that you said to draw rather than write. Yes, you have to train yourself to not write the letter because, let me show you. If you try to write it, it gets confusing because your writing is generally all one pressure up and down. So your letter looks the same all the way around. Now, if you want it to look like that, use your brush pen and do that. If you want it to have that brush look, you have to change the pressure that you're using. Let's do one more letter. So letter C, light, heavy, light. Or you can make your little curly there. I like to make a little, I don't know why, I like to put a little thing on my C here. And I also do this at the end of my letters. It's just my style. So once you start practicing, you'll have your own style. What do you suggest when your hand is so shaky? Well, as you can see, my hand is a little shaky right now because I'm tired and drinking coffee too. So honestly, when my hand's shaky, that's not when I do my lettering. If I'm practicing, I'll just push through and just keep practicing. But I try to actually not do it when my hand's shaky because if your hand's tired after, typing or clicking or doing some activity or workout, like sometimes I will do an exercise, do my workout, and then my arms are a little tired and my hand's a little shaky. So remember, this is like art when you're trying to do this. So it's the same as if you're trying to paint something and your hand's shaky. It's not a good time to do it. But if you're just writing in your planner, don't worry about it. Just go. I've seen the faux lettering where you draw the letter, then go over letter and add the double line color in. Yes, I love that. It's very fun. It's funny, you can use your markers to create your brush letters that way. The other thing you can do when you do that, which is also here, I'll just show you. Let's make a K. you can color it with different colors. So let me grab another brush pen. I think they're over here. So let me switch this. So I grabbed another color. You can create your outline and then color in with a different color. And these brush pens are meant to blend. So it's going to blend in a little bit with that line, the outline part. It's going to look really cool. See, you can have so much fun with these. I've been having a blast. All right, let me go back this way. Any more questions? I don't want to get too crazy in this. I just want to get you started. Let's recap. Grab some brush pens, grab some high quality paper like this. So let's see, we'll recap everything. Tombow dual brush pens, Tombow Fudenosuke small brush pens, Go Getter Girls notebook, which has extra high quality paper, because as you can see, the inks do not go through. A lot of not a lot, let's say some planners do not have thick enough paper to use these kind of brush pens. The Happy Planners, like right on the edge. You can use these. If you don't use a lot of ink, it'll be okay and doesn't show through. If you use like extra bright colors or dark colors or a heavy hand, it will show through on your Happy Planner paper. So, and like some planners have a lighter weight paper, so your planner's not so heavy, and some have heavier. So if you choose some of the thicker paper, higher quality paper, planners or notebooks, those are perfect for your hand lettering practice. So Tombow pens, good quality paper, like this Go Getter Girl notebook. Let's go back to our tips over here. Write slowly, practice up and down, and draw your letters. Oh, I want to show you how to practice up and down. This you'll see on pretty much every hand lettering tutorial. They will tell you to do these two things, which are so boring. So that's why I just skip over them. But if you're wanting to practice and you're a very beginner, up is the light strokes. You're going to want to practice light strokes up, heavy strokes down, light strokes up, heavy strokes down, and just practice that over and over. Super boring. I would rather practice letters, but that's how you get good at this stuff. You have to practice. So light stroke up, heavy stroke down, light stroke up, heavy stroke down. That's your up down strokes that you need to practice. All right, let me grab my. I have the Tombow dual brush pens, water-based and blendable. Yes, I tried following the strokes with you, but the brush tip thickness is hard to control. Do I need other pens? You have the dual brush. The dual brush are big for big letters. So if you're doing, you know how sometimes we do like a special page in our planner, like your word of the year, or I don't know, I did a spring cleaning one. I've done one for what is that called? Vision boards and those kind of things. Then I would use the large brush pens. If you're writing in your weeks and you're writing small notes in your planner, this is the one I use, the small Fudenosuke Tombow pen. So that's the one. If you're practice, I'm telling you, if you practice and get good with these will be super easy. These are easier to write with. But if you practice with these, when you get to the small brush pen, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. So don't worry about it. You need to practice to get started. Yes, and the thickness is hard to control, and that's what you're practicing. Let's see what Rhonda said. That's what I was wondering if it shows through. It kind of does. Okay, so let's look over here if you want to see Happy Planner paper. So this is my whole hand lettering class is what's in here. Let's just flip through. So here you can see some lettering with the large black pen. Let's see if we can get to a page and see if it shows through. All right, so here's one that has some of the black lettering on the back. Let's take it out and look up close. So you can kind of see, you can see the shadow through the paper, but it doesn't actually bleed through. The ink isn't coming through, but you can see the shadow. So it's just like, so close. It's fine. And that's with this, in this, this is a 2022 Happy Planner Horizontal for hand lettering practice. I hope that helps. So this is the two pens, these two pens, but in black, this one in black. So you can kind of see how it writes. And here's some of the things we practiced. Here, let's look at this page too. It doesn't have any writing on the back. So see how the ink does not bleed through, but you can see it in the shadow. See the shadow? Because I have bright lights in here, you can see it. But on your planner like that, it doesn't go through. So I wouldn't go any less paperweight than a Happy Planner paperweight. I'm such a perfectionist that I've always gotten frustrated in the past time to get. Okay, so here's how I got past that, Carol, because I am too. This is what I did. This is my second full entire year planner of hand lettering practice. I taught the class with this one for beginners. And the year before, I did a whole entire one just for myself for practicing. And here's, oh, this is one more really good tip. Take your planner or your notebook that you're using for practice and put it by your bed, in your bag, on the table by your couch. Mine lived on the table by my couch with lots of ink, lots of pens. I had a handful of different pens and my lettering planner. And whenever I would sit down, I would letter for a few minutes or a lot of minutes or an hour or just 1 minute and do one letter. And I did that for a whole year. And that's all I needed to do was just practice occasionally and just use different colors, use different pens, try different letters. And some of the different tutorials, this planner specifically has prompts in it. You can also use stickers. You can watch videos like this for tips, all of those things, but get somewhere to practice like this or this and put it somewhere you can see it and use it every day. What does Julie say? I find it hard to make the thin line. Yes, the thin line. It's easy to push down hard, right? It's hard to write those upward thin strokes. So those are the hard ones. Yes, totally agree with that. Okay, if you, any more questions before I go? And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this and would like to do another tutorial, maybe on something specific, like specific words that we want to practice in your planner, or something else that you want to letter. We can do that, or some other ways to letter in your planner. We can practice those too. It'd be fun. I'm having a great time playing with the Tombow pens and lettering in my planner. I do have tons more tips. I'm trying not to take too long. I'm trying to stay under 30 minutes for this video. So any other questions? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more planner videos. We're having a giveaway soon. Stay tuned if you're watching live. A Thursday evening will be a plan with me. I believe we're doing my lemon theme, and I think we're going to be decorating the month of June. So stay tuned for that on Thursday night at 7. Thank you so much for joining. Let me see. There's a couple more comments before we go. Yes, do another. Rhonda, thank you for showing how to make these tips, these and the tips. I would enjoy more. Great. So maybe we'll do another one next time. Thank you all so much. Bye.